Hi, Jason. Welcome back.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing okay.
Okay. Well, today we're going to go over the ABC model. We're going to kind of, I'm going to model it with you so that you know how to use it.
Okay.
This is one of those interventions that we talked about in your treatment plan and kind of discussed a little. So you may have a little remembrance of that. But
Okay. Yeah.
we'll go into it. Yeah, we'll go into it for more detail. So, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go through it today, and then throughout the week, I'm gonna have you fill it out, and we'll come back and look at it after that. But this will just give you kind of an idea of what it's used for, and then how you'll use it on your own. So, so first, I want you to think about the last time that you were anxious about water.
Okay.
The last event, and describe it to me.
My wife Amy and I, we were going over to a friend's house for dinner, and we were just driving. Amy was driving, and we were kind of going through their neighborhood, and I looked out the side of the car, and they had one of those like neighborhood pools, and it just, it made me think about kind of what happened to the lake. My head started hurting. I got really hot and flush. I had to turn the air conditioning on. Amy got really concerned. I just wanted to run. I wanted to go home. We still went to the dinner party, but it was just, it was quiet. I just didn't really want to talk to anyone.
Right. Okay, so when we're looking at our ABC model, your first column says situation that produces stress, and that's going to be your A, or your antecedent or your trigger. Okay. So you're going to write in that first box that situation you just described to me.
Okay.
And that's the one that we're going to use throughout our whole model, is this event. So you kind of talked about how it made you feel that you were, your wife had to turn the air conditioning on because you're getting warm. What kind of thoughts were you having while this happened?
Well, just seeing the pool. The only thing I could think of was just that moment before I just dove into the water, and it was that feeling that, I was nervous anyway. They had to kind of talk me into the lake, and so I was just like, all right, fine, I'll just do something that I don't want to do, and then, bam! Everything happened. It's just that thought of, because I didn't necessarily want to go to the dinner party in the first place,
right?
And so I don't know, I just felt very pressured in this whole idea of, once that happens, something bad is going to happen. Like, I'm going to, let everyone down. I just caused like this huge panic. And I don't know, it's scary. It's just something that I don't know, every time I see it, I just get terrified.
Okay. So what I heard you say first was that your automatic thought was back to your event that happened the first time. So in your next two categories, you have automatic thought and assumptions behind the automatic thought. So we're going to put that first one in this first column, and that's your B, which is your belief or thought. Okay. And we'll kind of dive into more what your assumptions might be off of that thought. But that's a good one to put down for there. What kind of assumptions could we draw from that thought?
Well, it's just kind of this, I'm just scared. It's this idea of like doing something I don't want to do or didn't want to do in the first place. Just caused so much like chaos and fear in everyone, and I feel like anytime I go by water that I am just going to it just ruins everything.
Okay. So what would you like to put for your assumption?
It's just this idea that, anytime I get by it, that, I am just going to ruin just everything that happens.
So the connection between something bad happens, even if it's not with water, right? Is that what I'm hearing you saying?
Well, no, it...
Oh, it is with water.
Yeah, it's just with the water, but it's you know, like I told everyone, it's the, like, I didn't want to get in because I couldn't see what's going on.
Right.
And it's that, you know, just kind of like the not feeling in control.
Okay.
And that whole thing just spiraling way out of control. I mean, because it wasn't just like, you know, I scraped my knee. I mean, you know, like everyone was panicking. They had to like rush me to the hospital. I mean, it was, you know, it wasn't just, oh, I got stung by a bee.
Right.
I mean, so it's that whole me making the choice to give in to what everyone was saying.
Right.
And dive in just caused pandemonium. And so every time I see that, I just feel like I am going to just ruin everything.
Okay. So maybe that could be, well, that could maybe be another automatic thought if you want to add that to your list, that everything will be ruined. I think that's a good one and good for you to make a connection with when you're around water.
Okay.
Like that's a good connection that you've made by yourself. So I think that's good. So then your next column is your feeling or behavior, which is going to be the C in our consequences. Okay. So what, I know you talked about getting warm. That would be a behavior that occurred. Anything else?
Well, yeah, my head kind of started hurting.
Okay. Yeah, you can write those.
Just, you know, I just got like really flushed. Like I had a hard time like just focusing on kind of like anything that was going on. I just had that thought in my head. So.
Okay.
And then, you know, when we got to the party, and it just wasn't the same. And so I just feel like, you know, I saw water and then I just ruined everything.
Right. So that could also be under our consequences, which is our feeling or behavior that you didn't have a good time afterwards. So we're gonna, this is a little added section. Some of our models don't have this last two columns on the end, but I'm gonna put them there just because I want you to be able to visualize the whole thing. Okay. So we're gonna start thinking about some alternative thoughts that we could use. And to do that, we're going to kind of challenge some of these beliefs that we've already talked about. Okay. So I want you to pick one of the ones from your automatic thought column that you want to focus on.
Okay. You know, I think the one where, at least the one that's most pertinent to the issue I brought up, is just the, you know, I see water and then I just ruin everything. Like, I just get scared that me being around it is just going to cause everything to go wrong.
Okay. So we're going to use that one to do some like cost benefit analysis. So you'll see at the bottom, we have a little column for you to write in. Yeah. And you can do this on your own too, or you can just think through them in your head, whatever you prefer. But so that belief that you'll ruin everything, what is a benefit to believing that way?
Well, I mean, functionally nothing. I mean, it's one of those things that, you know, no one wants to be the guy that ruins everything, and no one wants to be kind of the cause for all this chaos. I mean, you know, I just wanted to go and have a nice dinner, and instead it's I'm a sweaty, hot mess that can't talk to anyone.
Yeah. Okay. So we can just work on the cost maybe, and maybe you can.
Well, I mean, to a certain degree, it's one of those things. If my wife would have driven around, or I wouldn't have seen it, I would have been fine.
Right.
And so, I mean, just the thought is just that, you know, me being by it is just going to destroy everything that happens afterwards.
Okay, so maybe we could write that statement for cost, that everything bad, something bad will happen. Okay. Anything else you want to add as a cost when you think about it?
I mean, kind of the cost of having it is, I know, you know, I used to like swimming. I don't get to do it anymore. My wife, you know, my wife wants to go to the beach, and that terrifies me. I mean, it's one of those things of, you know, I want her to have the vacation she wants, but I know as soon as I get there, I'm going to ruin everything.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, it keeps us from doing what we want to do.
Yeah. Okay. So we've looked at the costs and the benefits, and we don't have anything in the benefits right now. So that probably means we couldn't lose anything from changing that thought.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing really
we are on to change the thoughts.
Good to lose. So I want us to brainstorm some tasks that you could do this week, specifically to change this thought that you have. So like some of them I'm thinking of is like maybe when you're in the car, and you can tell me what you personally want to do. But like one that I would maybe use personally is when I'm in the car and I know I'm going to a stressful situation, I might turn on a podcast that I like to listen to, kind of give myself a distraction to what's going on. Is there something like that you think would be helpful when those situations come up?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even, it's one of those things I didn't think that we were even going to drive by until I just turned my head and saw it. So, I mean, if I wouldn't have seen it, I probably would have been fine.
Okay. So maybe we could make a list of things that you could say to yourself when that's unexpected, that you could memorize if that's something you are good at or like to do. Okay. Like go through the ideas of maybe positive self-talk. I will not ruin tonight. This doesn't define me, those kind of power statements. Okay. So maybe this week you could work on some of those empowering statements and write them down. Sure. And then when those unexpected situations come up, you can just pull them.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely try that.
Okay. And then once you do that, so with our alternative thought, our extra, we're going to do like the positive statements. So once you do that, throughout the week, if that situation comes up, I want you to pull this back out and do whatever feelings or behaviors happen after that situation. And so we can see if that one was effective or if we need to try to do something different. So, does that sound good?
Yeah, that's something I can definitely work on.
Okay, great. So throughout the week, I want you to do this with other situations as well. So I'll make sure to give you more of these to fill out. How many times do you think you want to try to do this week?
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't want to go by water to think about this, but, I could try.
Okay. Well, and it might be situations that just come up, like you're saying, in the car, where you didn't know that you're going to be around water.
I can be ambitious and shoot for 5. I can't guarantee I'm going to do it, but I'll try.
Okay. Well, shoot for 5, and whatever you can get done is great. And if you bring it back next time, then we can go over it. If there's any questions you have or you weren't sure, couldn't quite remember what to put in each category, we can go through the situation again and kind of model it. So great work today, and that's all we have. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Natalie.
You're welcome.